Unfortunately, wind claims are very hard to get bought. The threshold is 50%. If you can prove to the insurance company that 50% of the roof is damaged by the peril of wind, most of the time that'll be shingles blown off or shingles blown up that are creased. If you can get a number that would equal half of the roof, we can get it bought. I have gotten them bought right around 30% if I can show that other areas that the shingle has been lifted and the mat transfer has been ripped apart. So those are damaged. They can be repaired, but most time they'll go ahead and buy the full roof. But wind claims, you might as well get ready in Oklahoma. If you got some shingles off, just call your roofer and have him to put a few shingles on there, unless those shingles are discontinued. If they are, you need to call a public adjuster, whether you call me or not, and then we can get those things bought. Because if you can't find the shingle to put on there, they'll tell you they don't, but they have to buy you a full roof replacement. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't want every claim that a roofer has. We can't work that way, for one, because they can't say that they have us in their pocket kind of thing, and that we're working with them in that way. We are there to help when it feels like the insurance company is not doing the right thing. And every time we take a claim, we go out and physically inspect it first. And if we determine that there's not enough damage there, I won't take the claim. For one, I don't like to lose. Number two is I don't want to mislead the client and put them through a long drawn out thing, and a year, or sometimes if you're fighting something that's iffy. I don't like to take iffy claims. At the beginning, I have taken some of those, and it never paid off for me, nor the client, or the insurance company. So what we do is we go do a thorough inspection, and here's what I want you to know, is on our inspection, we need to find collateral. A lot of people don't even know what collateral is. I get it, it's an insurance term, but we have to find damage to metals like your gutters, your downspouts. You got to have damage to your screens, your staining on your fence. We need to be able to prove that hail was actually there, not just because a piece of paper comes across our desk and says that hail was in that area, or even at that location. We have to identify that the hail was there. We'll measure those size. Then we move on to the roof, and are we measuring the same size that we are measuring on the metals? Most roofs have aluminum box vents, turbines on top. We'll measure those, and if those are 1 inch or larger, and we can find that on the shingle, we're going to take that claim. Sometimes that it'll have 6 hits in a 10 by 10, 8 hits, 12 hits. That really doesn't matter to me, because it's still direct physical loss. No matter what their policy is, you're not contracted with their policy. You're contracted with the policy you agreed to for direct physical loss. I would suggest the 30-year laminate. They have all different types of colors and shapes even, but the 30-year laminate is a great shingle. It will withstand up to generally 1 inch to 1 1/4 in its newer years. Later in the years, if it's half, if you lived half out of the life of the shingle, then 3/4 to 1 inch could still damage it. But with that being said, if you don't want to be stuck paying that full roof replacement, because most homes that are at least 30 square is going to be anywhere from 20 to 35,000, depending on what type of metals you have on your roof. So that's my suggestion. I would suggest the typical GAF, for instance. I'm not doing a video for GAF. I just like their backing. You can send in a letter, and they will say in their letter that if hail has dispersed the granules on your roof, that is actual physical damage that happened from the storm and should be covered, because as you are aware, direct physical loss is what you're covered for. And if you take the other shingles and you put the class 4 on there, it sounds good on the surface, but in the long run, you're going to be the one not coming out ahead. It may look like it at the beginning, but in the long run, you're going to wish you didn't do it. Yes, I would definitely be glad to look at what they have. For one, I've read thousands of policies. I have read thousands of policies. A lot of them are similar in many, many ways. But yes, I would try to help that customer and let them know that always be prepared to ask the agent would you please make sure that code upgrade is on my policy? It's called code and ordinance is what it is. And you want to have that on your policy because let's say if Oklahoma changes the roof lines in Oklahoma, they need them to be 2 foot wide instead of 1 foot like some homes are, or maybe 3 foot wide. If they change that and make it code and you go to redo your roof, then you're obligated to bring it up to code and you're going to be out the full cost. But if you have this code and ordinance, then the insurance company will pay that for you. You've heard about it before, your decking, if you have plank decking 1x8s, they'll also pay to overlay that. So now you got a 1 inch, little over 1 inch thick roof, which is a great covering, and that will help you a lot. But you got to have that code and ordinance, and you can move forward and let them pay it.
No pierda el tiempo, acabamos de sufrir una granizada masiva en Oklahoma City, Moore y Norman. Es momento de hacer algo. Envíeme un correo electrónico a rickyadjuster1@gmail.com o puede llamarme al 405-434-7658 y comenzaremos el proceso hoy mismo.